Recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, many of us here grew up in a time in this country when our parents and our politicians weren't afraid to invest in America. I've been having a series of meetings along with other members here with the Inspector General for Afghanistan. He has 250 investigators. Of the last $100 billion in infrastructure that we have spent in Afghanistan, he can't find where the money's gone and or where the projects have been completed. And yet, here we are today with bridges falling down, roads crumbling, and we're debating legislation that gives an 80% cut in our transportation needs, imposes severe restrictions onto a program that's so crucial to our long-term economic growth here in this country. This program, the Tiger Grant program, as you know and the public needs to know, allows communities to compete for the funding of railroad upgrades, airport runways, highways, bridges, ports. Recently at a meeting with the Transportation Committee, we had about 10 transportation leaders from business and commerce before the committee. And I asked the question of every one of them, is there any disagreement here that our roads, our bridges are crumbling? No. Make a note of it, Mr. Chairman. Second question, is there anyone here who disagrees with the notion that this is jeopardizing our economic growth and our ability to create good-paying jobs and facilitate the advancement of business interests? Nobody objects, Mr. Chairman. Make a note of it. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, is there anybody here, now mind you, all the Democrats and Republicans were there, is there anybody here on this committee that rejects the notions that we need to find more revenue for our transportation, our infrastructure, not less? Nobody disagreed. So where does this notion come from that we should pass an 80% reduction in our Tiger Grant program? Clearly, someone's not listening to the business and commercial interests in this country, and they are making a tragic and serious mistake. Recently, Duluth Harbor in my district was the recipient of a $10 million grant. As a result of that, we were able to restore an abandoned pier, dredge the harbor so that the Great Lakes freighters could access it, and extend the rail and the highway transportation accessing the terminal. We're losing $3 billion in business income a year through the Great Lakes because we're 10 years behind on the dredging. The Lakers are only operating at 80% of capacity. We're talking about real jobs. We're talking about real business income. We're talking about our future as a nation. Mr. Speaker, this bill does contain some good and necessary increases in funding, such as the FAA and the Pipeline Hazardous Materials of Safety Administration, but an 80% cut in this program that spurs innovation, that boosts American manufacturing, creates good-paying jobs. That's no way to invest in our future. That's no way to have a pro-growth, pro-job economy. Mr. Speaker, I strongly urge all of my colleagues, let's come together here. We have common ground. Let's be bipartisan. Let's reject this 80% cut. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.